viewers, today we will talk about Ardhanarishvara in ancient Indian texts. The main objective of this lecture is to make the students enlightened regarding the concept of the union of Purusha and Prakriti in this universe. The ancient Indian texts provide material on the various forms of Ardhanarishvara, which represent the sectarian relationships between Shiva and Shakta. Here we shall select some of the known texts to make the image of Ardhanarishvara clear for its purpose. Shiva is worshipped in India from the remote antiquity. The images from Indus Valley civilization are the best examples. It gained ground during the Scytho-Kushan period and then developed in various forms all over India. The Ardhanarishvara concept basically symbolizes the idea of cult syncretism. Shiva, a non-Aryan tribal god, merged with Shakti, a pure Brahminical deity, is in itself an important factor. Ardhanarishvara signifies the half male and half female aspect of Shiva and Shakti. The literary texts like Vishnu Dharmottara Purana, Agni Purana, Samrangana Sutradhara, Manasara, Matsya Purana, Linga Purana, Shilparatna, Kamika Agama, Suprabheda Agama, Kalika Purana provide source material of Ardhanarishvara. Evidences provided by the works of Panini, Kautilya, Patanjali, Kalidas, Varahamihira, Bharata, Banna regarding the concept of Ardhanarishvara are most valuable. The Ardhanarishvara form, which is often delineated in the Puranas in association with the worship of the deity Shiva, represents the conception of the Rig Vedic mythology of creation enacted by the union of male and female. The Rig Vedic rishis expressed this symbolism as the Vaya and Prithvi, the universal parents. They are the most frequently named pair of deities in the Rig Veda. In the Puranas, the idea of Ardhanarishvara is developed on the basis of the Rig Vedic thoughts. Male and female always go together in the act of creation. The earliest references to this is found in the Rig Veda itself. Regarding the literary authenticity of this form, it goes to Vedic symbolism. It is explained under several names: Pitama, Parardha, Avardha, upper half and lower half; Kata Marta, which Vardha, unknown half, world half; Parana Apna, Yuva, Yukti; Mitra Varuna, Urvashi; Purna Kumbha, Kumbhani; Nara, Nari; Deva, Devi; Dasa, Aditi; Manas, Kama; Uparsvit; Adha, Svi; Paryayati, Svadha; Para, Stat, Avastat; Vish, Vashraj; Vish, Vashrati; Suparna, Suparni, and many other pairs of the male and female which go together in the scheme of cosmogonic procreation. According to the Shiva Purana, Brahma first begot a number of male beings, the Prajapati, and commanded them to create various other beings. They were unable for the task for which they were intended. Brahma was not comfortable on this slow process. He meditated on Maheshwara. Maheshwara appeared before him in the composite form of a male and a female. The message of the composite form is creation out of copulation. There is another myth in the Shiva Purana relating to Ardhanarishvara. On certain occasions, when Shiva was seated with his consort on the lap of the mountain, the Devas and the Rishis went around both. Bhringi Rishi bowed only to Shiva and forgot Parvati. Parvati became angry and cursed Bhringi that all his flesh and blood would disappear from his body. He was reduced to a skeleton covered only with skin. In that state, he was unable to support himself in an erect position. Seeing his bad condition, Shiva gave him a third leg to have balance. Bhringi became happy and started dancing vigorously with 3 legs and praised Shiva for his grace. The desire of Parvati to humble Bhringi thus failed. The failure caused great annoyance to Parvati, who returned to do penance for obtaining a boon from Shiva. At the end, Shiva pleased and granted her wish of being united with her own body. The ingenious Bhringi assumed the form of a beetle, bore a passage in the center of the composite figure and performed circumambulation to Shiva alone, to the great wonder of even Parvati, who became reconciliated to his woe. The Ardhanarishvara form is mentioned in the narrative form in Satta Rudriya Samhita of Shiva Purana in chapter 3 and 4. The account of the Linga Purana states that the Ardhanarishvara is the union of Linga and Vedi. Elot remarks, as presiding over procreation, he is an Ardhanarishvara. The asceticism is mentioned in one passage of the Linga Purana. Everything feminine is Prakriti, born from my body. Everything masculine is Purusha, born of my body. O Brahmans, undoubtedly my creation is through both of these. Hence no one shall censure the naked ascetic who is devoted to me. Those devotees of Mahadeva who are interested in applying ashes, who have perfect control over the sense organs, who have sublimated their sexuality, reach Rudra's world and do not return therefrom. Hence this secret, sacred and divine right of the deity of manifest Linga. The excellent Lord has half of his body in female form. He has 4 arms wherein he holds the boon to be bestowed, the gesture of fearlessness, the trident and the lotus. He is stationed in the form of a woman as well as a man bedecked with all ornaments. The Sukanda Purana states that Brahma asked Rudra to divide himself, the later divided himself in the male and female forms. At another place in the Sukanda Purana, Parvati said, "Oh, let one reside with you all the while embracing you, by limb. Thus, the form of Shiva became androgynous. In the Skanda Puran, it is said that the sky is Linga and the earth is Pithika. According to the Markandeya Purana, which is dated before the 8th century AD, Rudra and Vishnu are the creators of the universe, and they form the Ardhanarishvara aspect of Rudra. The male and female principles are inseparable and ever found together in cosmic evolution, which is a real aspect of Ardhanarishvara, form of Shiva. In the Markandeya Puran, it is said that during the creation of the world, Brahma further created Rudra, whose birth was from his soul when it was angry. And then, when the beings he first created showed disrespect at his production, Brahma grew wrathful. Then was produced there a male like to the sun, possessed of an immense body, the body being half man and half a woman. Divide thyself, said the god, and they disappeared. And he, being thus assorted, separated the female and male natures, and he divided the male nature into 11 parts. Then the Divine Lord divided the male and female natures into many parts, with men gentle and cruel, calm, black and white. In the Matsya Puran, Ardhanarishvara is as follows. In the one half of the image is the plaited hair of the Lord. A crescent should be made, and in the other half portion of the body, the image of the goddess Parvati should be beautifully made. It describes that the deity should hold a skull cup or trident in the right hand. The left hand should be shown as holding a mirror or, in special cases, a lotus. The right half should be covered with tiger skin, and the left part is to be covered with hanging clothes, decked with various jewels, and the right side is to be covered with serpents. The right foot of the Lord should be made to rest on a lotus, and a little above that of the left one should be adorned with gems and ornaments worn by ladies. In the Matsya Purana, Brahma grants Parvati a boon of gold complexion to make her more attractive to Shiva, as well as grants that she would also form a part of half of his body. In the Vishnu Dharmottara, Shiva as half female is identified as Gaurishvara. It is mentioned that the left half of Shiva's body should be of Parvati, and Shiva should be with 4 arms carrying rosary and trident in the right hand, and mirror and lotus in the left. The deity should have one face with 2 eyes and adorned by all ornaments. He is represented as Purusha and Prakriti in union, known as Gaurishvara, and worshipped by all men. The Kalika Purana states that Parvati desired union with Shiva, who tested her in many ways. Satisfied with Parvati, he permitted her to acquire half of his body. Shiva became Ardhanarishvara. The Brihat Samhita, without giving details, only describe that the Lord Shiva may be represented as having Parvati for his left half. Mahabharata too mentions this form of Shiva several times. The Barisant Natya Purana conceives of the Ardhanarishvara form as a person of half black and half yellow form, nude on one side and clothed on the other, wearing skulls and a garland of lotuses in the two halves respectively, showing the male features on the right and the female characteristics on the left. According to the Agamas, the Ardhanarishvara form should represent the right half as male or Shiva and left half as female or Parvati. The male half should have Jatamukta on the head, adorned with a crescent moon, Nakra, Sarpa, or an ordinary Kundla in the right ear. Tiger skin as a garment below the lance, a Naga Jajnopavita, a Sarpa Mekhala, and should be awe-inspiring. The right half of the forehead should have half an eye sculptured. The left female half should wear Karanda Mukta, or a fine knot of well-combed hair, a half tilka mark on the forehead, Valika, Kundla in the left ear, necklace, armlets and anklets. This half portion should be draped in multicolored silken clothes, covering the body down to the ankle, and also should have the bosom of a woman with a round, well-developed breast, and should be specific in appearance. The image of Narishvara should have 2, 3 or 4 arms. In case of 2 hands, the right should be held in Varda pose, or may carry a kapala, and the left one may be hanging down or keeping a mirror, a parrot or a flower. The fiercely aspect of Ardhanarishvara has been described in Kurma Purana. Brahma was doing his tapasya when came out of his mouth Rudra, born of the destructive fire, the trident bearing the three-eyed Lord. The 2 aspects were conceived in the Vedas in several ways. V.S. Agarwal states, the single egg or germ of creation was split into Prana and Bhuta. He was called Hiranya Garbha, in which Hiranya or gold is a symbol of Purana and Garbha that of matter. The female germ is fertilized by the male energy, and the 2 together are known as Hiranya Garbha. Without the golden speck of the male seed, the egg remains inactive. But by the union of the male, it becomes energetic. In Kumar Sambhava, it has been described that while Parvati was getting married to Shiva, she was blessed by her elders to obtain the undivided love of her husband. But she even surpassed their blessings by occupying half of the body of Shiva. The Ardhanarishvara form is also mentioned in an invocatory verse of the Malavika Ganimitra, where Shiva is described as a person whose body is united with that of his beloved, and yet he is the foremost among the ascetics, having no attachment with worldly pleasures. In the opening verse of the Raghuvamsa of Kalidas, significance and importance of the Ardhanarishvara form has been pointed out by telling, words and their meanings are in constant association with each other, and no one can think of them separately. Similarly, Shiva and Parvati cannot be conceived of with any sense of difference. The Raja Tarangani of Kalhan pays salutations to the Ardhanarishvara form in the invocatory verses given at the beginning of all 8 tarangas. Vidyapati, the Maithili poet, wrote a number of verses on Shiva. In a poem, he describes the Ardhanarishvara form of God with the qualities of an ascetic, yogi, and enjoyer, bhogi. Ardhanarishvara is the form of Shiva in which the god with his spouse appears in composite form. The right half is dedicated to Shiva, while the left half is dedicated to Parvati. The male and female principles are inseparable and even found together in cosmic evolution, which is the real impact of Ardhanarishvara form of Shiva. This form signifies the cult amalgam in a remarkable manner, for it apparently emphasizes the union of the principal cult, that is of Shaivism and Shaktism. The germs of this syncretic ideology are found in the Puranic accounts. The Ardhanarishvara form of Shiva has been described in literature right from the beginning. Different aspects have been identified on the basis of these texts. These texts have been clearly amalgamation of the 2 sects, this is Shaivism and Shaktism. Both the sects were worshipped fairly independently in India, but only because of sectarian differences. The worshippers tend to see them in one single united form. The religious aspect can be better seen in religious texts of the ancient period, including Vedas and Puranas. The sectarian rivalries between the various sects often led to ill-feeling and ground channel for fabrication of mythological stories, occasionally reflected in iconography. The tendency was checked by the liberal leaders of religious thought from early times to bring reconciliation of the rival creeds, and this idea led to the creation of syncretic images. The Upanishads and Smriti Shastras extra were also helpful for the growth of this liberal view and religious thought. The mental attitude of the alien immigrants into India, the Shakas, the Pahalwas, the Kushanas, and the Hindus, was also a contributory factor for the growth of reapproachment between various cults. They had a liberal view towards the different creeds of the Hindu religion, which can be illustrated by the visuals of the early foreign rulers. The name Ardhanarishvara is an amalgamation of these words, Ardha, Nari, and Ishvara. Ishvara means Ishvara, that is Shiva. Nari means that is Parvati, as is Ardha, is half. Among the syncretistic icons, the half male and half female concept, that is Ardhanarishvara, has undergone several changes through the centuries. It has been mentioned in the Vedic literature, and some positive evidence has also been found in the Indus civilization, which shows that gods and goddesses were worshipped in their individual forms. Thanks a lot.